Freedom, I really believe, is when somebody see you. We did an art piece together on the women prison. Some of these women, they actually feel more freedom inside than outside.
Right.
Because inside they belong part of the community. The more important thing is they be see. You build in a community where you belong, you can really transcend it.
Please welcome Marco Perego!
Marco Perego-Saldana, starting out as a footballer, creating conscious art, and also that movie that you just wrote yourself that Scorsese produced.
I married to Zoe for one big reason, because she's very raw. She's very have an essence of purity, and that's what I'm fascinated about. That's what I'm searching. I really believe that art is a personal healing confession. I think it can really heal in humanity. I really believe it. Very important for me is to always go back to this truth, to this honest truth.
Welcome, everyone, to this episode of the Mindvalley podcast, where I'm sitting with this incredible gem of a human being, Marco Perego-Saldana. And Marco is a famous footballer from Italy, moved to the U.S., became an artist, and his vision of the world and what he's doing with his life, creating art, creating movies. One of his recent movies just got picked up and is now produced by Scorsese, is so powerful. He's going to inspire you in this conversation on a story of how personal growth, how using tools like Mindvalley, Masterclass, Silva Ultramind, creative visualization, healing, all of this have contributed to his journey. There are so many lessons over here, but we're also going to talk about art. We're going to talk about creation. We're going to talk about a whole range of different topics. So thank you for joining us in this conversation. And of course, Marco Perego-Saldana, his last name, he took it from his famous wife, Zoe Saldana, of Guardians of the Galaxy, Avatar, one of the most prominent actresses in the world today. Hi, Marco.
Hi.
So many exciting things we're going to be talking about today, covering a wide range of different fields. We just got to know each other over lunch, and really impressed by the sheer diversity of projects you're involved in. Starting out as a footballer, creating conscious art, working on causes you truly believe in, refugees, immigration, and also that movie that you just wrote yourself that Scorsese produced. I mean, this is an amazing array of different projects, but there's a beautiful heart to you. You are a perpetual self-improver. You're constantly evolving.
Yes.
And that's what I find most interesting about you.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to. I always one thing I learning was to surround myself with people better than me, and I try to. Somebody very young age told me the great leader is who make another people leader, and I think what you guys do at Mindvalley in a way, and I think is very, very fascinating to me about this concept. And I think for me the part that was very interesting was about when you're making a art piece, you are alone in your studio, maybe you are a collaborator in my case, but when you're making a film, it's a pure collaboration. And I think from the writer perspective to the producing perspective, I think from my first film, the one you mentioned, Absence of Eden, to Dovecote now, the improve for me was about learning what I can do better all the time, how I can be better. The second film, Dovecote, I wrote with my mentor, a great writer, is called Alex Dinaliris. He wrote Birdman, he won Academy Awards and I reached out to him by email. I believe so much in constantly question yourself about how you can improve and how you can surrender yourself to the leadership of another, but still in control of your complete vision.
So I want to touch on your projects for a moment so people here understand like the wide range of different things you're working on. Then I want you to actually share how you got started, because that story of you coming to America, not speaking English, and then taking all of this on is also really inspiring. One thing I wanted to ask you about is you've been studying the Silva Ultramind system on Mindvalley. What are you getting out of that?
I was in a researching place, and I always working through intuition.
Yeah.
And I can see your face in Instagram. I'm not a great Instagram person, but I can see you, and I was very questioned about what it was. This Ultramind was Silva. And I decided to do the course.
Right.
And I decided to do the course. Actually, did 2 times in a row because I want to understand the language. I want to understand exactly what was the tools given to me, the smell, the visualization of 3, 2, 1, be in this room, being in front of the screen.
Right.
And for me, what I realized was to connect it with your, I called personally, I think the essence, we have this inner child, we have this essence, each one of us have this purity. He have his own voice, and until we don't give a chance to this voice, the voice keep coming and knocking at the door. And he say, hey, you need to move this way, but fear coming and, life coming. And for me, that was a fascinating, that's what I learning from, is to really
listen to that voice.
To listen to that voice, to that essence, to that purity. In the writing aspect, Alex always tell me, like, Aristotle always say, you have only one truth.
Right.
The character have only one truth. You need to find the truth. And, I learning a lot to close my eyes, go to the deep place between sleeping and awaking and try to find that truth. But this is a funny story. When I started working with this incredible writer, I was going to this session, is our picture I will show you. He was laying down, sleeping sometime during the session, and I don't know what he was doing. But after I did the
Silva Cross,
you I understand what he was doing. He was going unconscious, find the truth, wake up, and you know what the character said.
He was doing like an Edison nap.
Yes,
right.
And the Edison now with the ball. But yes, that's what I'm fascinated. That's what I'm constantly searching for that.
Yeah.
I'm really, really fascinated.
That's really cool. So what for the people here who may not know what we're talking about, the Silva method, Silva Ultramind, which is the program that's on Mindvalley, is all about tapping into changing your brainwave states, going into altered states of mind where you can tap into intuition. That's theta, right? It's a slowdown of your brainwave frequency. When you nap, you dip into theta. The problem is most people fall asleep. Edison would nap with an iron ball in his hand.
Falling down?
Yeah. As soon as he drifted off to sleep, his hand would drop, the ball would hit the ground, it'll jolt him out of his nap. And that's where a lot of his ideas were coming from. And you were saying your collaborator in this film was doing the same thing. What you said about intuition is so important. How do you follow your intuition?
Wow, that's a good question. I try to stay still. I try to don't do nothing and just try to listen. The rules number one I was capable to give to myself was to try to really be outside. This means there is Marco, but there is also another Marco can look in Marco.
Yeah.
And this Marco really try to really find the quiet place, the quiet time, like that the voice or this intuition coming to you. And I think the method I did in the Mindvalley, I think it really helped me to understand the tools and to go deeper into.
Did you have any psychic, like really deep psychic flashes of insight, or was it more like intuition as inspiration that was flowing to you?
This is a good question. Depends what kind of project I attach, but very important for me is to always go back to this truth, to this honest truth. And I think it is, in my art project called the Wizard is the inner child, when you understand that voice, and that voice for me was fundamental. For me, I'm always try to search in that voice. And to do that, I really believe the body only functions in only two ways. You function between fear and love. Fear is completely not moving, and love is about trust. And when you are in that place of fear, you really cannot capable to listen this voice. And when another section, actually, you can expand yourself. I'm always searching to this quiet place to really take in. All these things I learning through inspirational people like you or different one I met. I'm really trying to be a white canvas to understand all these incredible
canvas, right? So that is what I'm thinking about. You showed me something on your phone as we were having lunch, which was really intriguing. As you're learning all of these wisdom from Joe Dispenza, from Mindvalley, from Jose Silva, from all of these people, you're creating art on this.
Yes.
Could you show us? You can show me on your phone. We'll blow it up on screen and tell us.
I want to show. I want to tell you, and after I show. But yes, the idea was. I was at one point when I finished my first film. I was not feel extremely well, and I was very, very lucky to be surrounded to like a person like my wife and my family, and because I have the time to really investigate in this, and I start to meet incredible people from. People that from Daniel Amen to Joe Dispenza, all these incredible people, Rabbi or healer. What I learned was what I learned was, for my opinion, each one of these people, they have his own alphabet, his own language. But the essence of this language was very similar to one of each other, very similar. And for me, that was very fascinating. It means there was a bigger vocabulary I can use. And that's, for me, I can do through the art. And what I started doing, I create this project called One Drawing a Day for 365 days about healing yourself. I created all these different levels, how I can freedom the inner child, the wizard. And you can go to one level to the another, to the breath. And you can pass to each level, have a color, have a territory. What is mean territory? Again, I'm making a sample. The sadness, the majority is sit down in your lung. The anger is sit down on your liver. The fear is in your kidney. When each one of these territory, every time I think about anger, I'm in this place in the liver, and I try to understand how the drawing work in there and what is the drawing is about, what color the drawing ever, and that's how the art is created, and that's how the book.
Stuff that you were feeling yourself, like when you felt anger, you sensed it in your liver, or is this like a
no? I woke up.
theory?
I woke up and I spend my. I don't call it anymore meditation. It's more like a visualization, and I try to visualize, and I go to this place, and the drawing come in, and now I'm creating this book where it's about this kind of like map of the treasure map, how to arrive to freedom, this inner child for me, and I hope people will understand. And again, I think this is a general idea: is how can pass to all this territory. And be sure you can freedom the essence of you. It's almost like to be in a beautiful houses and imagine. I really believe in this. I think every morning we wake up and we have a mechanic way to behave. Your kids say hi to you. You're happy. You go to work out. You feel healthy. Each one of these plays or this mechanical action you're doing is based on one is a gardener in your house, one is a chef in your house. What's happening? At one point, all the emotion run in you. They don't run the essence of you. And the idea is to be in control of this house and try to liberate and visualize the power that each one of us have it. I really believe that we are all creator. And because we are creator, there's an incredible power behind us. Unfortunately, everybody have an invisible chain. And this invisible chain, they keep us... They keep us in a lot of fear zone because we are in the survival mode all the time.
What's driving this art? I mean, are you creating this art because you're finding it's helping you better digest these lessons of wisdom?
I don't know.
Or are you doing it to get something out to the world?
I hope that people can really take something from the experience I had, and I think I really believe that art can healing. Is a personal healing confession. I think cinema and art, they can really heal in humanity. I really believe it. There is so many times now because sometimes I'm there with with my wife watching a film and feeling like emotional. I can go back 10 years before. I remember exactly where room I was when I was watching the film or the art I was in. For me, I really believe art have the power to change the human behavior.
Well, let's take a look. Could you show me a couple of pieces?
Just one or two, because I don't like to show art in the phone. I just showed you to you.
I mean, you're going to show it to me on the phone, but we're going to blow it up on screen.
No, please, no.
We're not allowed to show.
No. When the book is ready, I show it to everybody. I would prefer that.
Not even one.
No. Just feel I like it more like this way.
Got it.
Because again, I believe. It's almost like watching a film through your phone. I think is a very sorry. That's my wife. Yes, look.
No worries.
Zoe, I'm doing the podcast. You are online. Ti chiamo dopo. I call you later. Ciao. Baci. Ciao, mama. Ciao.
That's so cool. It's always an honor to have Zoe Saldana interrupt your podcast.
She's like she's the coolest. Example, she teach me a lot. Like example, when we did this experience, now we both part of the Venice Biennale this year. We are both artists selected to represent the Vatican Pavilion, and it was incredible because we did an art piece together on the women prison.
Right.
And Zoe was capacity to go so raw and so pure and almost be one of these inmates. The film is her and another 3-4 actors, well, including Marcello Fonte, but majority of the people that really
Is this film out right now?
Yeah, it's a short film at the Venice Biennale now in Venice.
Okay. What's it called?
It's called Dovecoat.
Okay.
And to go to see this film, you need to go inside the prison. You need to drop the phone, and all the visitors to watch in the pavilion of the Venice Biennale and Vatican, they need to go inside the prison. And I make an example how the curator Chiara Parisi she wanna do in what she did quite fantastic. Like these women, they were sharing 10 women at the time in one room. And the way people see this film, they come in 25 in this room, in a very small room, because they want to feel exactly claustrophobic in the same way these women feel it.
Are people going to be able to find this film online now?
We don't know yet. Right now we are showing we're showing sometime, but right now they still at the Venice Biennale until November.
Well, the cinematography of this film that you showed me in your phone, are we allowed to share that?
Yes, that's okay.
Yeah,
because it's not drawing. That's I can do.
I see. Because these pictures are pretty amazing.
Oh, thank you so much. You will be the first one when the book is ready next year. But yes, what I'm fascinated when I say I learning is something very interesting. I married to Zoe for one big reason, because she's very raw. She's very have an essence of purity, and that's what I'm fascinated about. That's what I'm searching. That's what I keep searching. When you ask me why you do this, I'm keep searching for this essence of this extremely pure form inside ourselves, this form of energy. And I think when you meet incredible people, in this case my wife, Abed, okay, this is some of the picture.
Uh-huh. Wow, that's unreal.
Yeah, that's
Tell us what's going on there.
This one is a scene inside the film. This is one part of the prison they never used. The prison was a monastery before. Uh-huh. And in the past, what happening right now, the nun actually, for the women that they come into this prison, they don't have a clothing or they don't have anything. The nun, they are the one they service, they bring him back and give him. Right. This is a surrealist scene where this woman will come inside the prison. And coming inside the prison, she coming without clothing, and one of the nuns will give him one of these bags for her to with inside clothing. That's one scene. This scene, of course, is all these are with all the women all the women here in at the Giudecca, they part of the film. Some of them, and this is Zoe, can give a soap to these women, and all the idea here.
That's Zoe.
Zoe. Yes. With one of the emails. The idea of the film, Alex Dinaliris and we wrote was what freedom is. And it's go back at the things I learning from also the courses. What freedom is, what we notice, some of these women, they actually feel more freedom inside than outside.
Right.
Because inside they belong part of the community. The more important thing is they be see.
Yeah.
And when somebody see, you can transcend this. You can really see. And that's why we structured the film. I structured the film in two different ways inside the prison. The frame of the film is almost 239, black or white, big frame. What this mean 239 is mean the frame is very large.
Yeah. And
the camera never stop. For 16 minutes, the camera never cut. And you can see, and it's about the...
So the film is 60 minutes long?
No, it's almost 17 minutes.
17.
Outside is 170. Outside is blue, magic hour. The frame is very small. It's like 4x3, and it's keep cutting.
And when you go inside, it's a single shot.
Yeah, or 239, because it's about to be belong.
For 60 minutes straight.
1/6. And it's all about why you belong. What is mean when you belong somewhere?
I see.
And that's what I try to show in what Alex wrote with me, but he wrote the majority of it. Because the more important things for us was, the film is called Dovecoat. And Alex is a New Yorker, and he was there, and we was writing this bar in New York, and he told me in New York was fascinating. There is so many pigeons.
Yeah.
And pigeons have a very strange way to die. When they want to die, they just waiting, and they blowing themselves up. And for us, for me, like a director, for Zoe, like a talent, and for Alex, like a writer and producer, the idea was, okay, what is this women, why for them is more easy to be happy inside outside, because outside they're invisible. 99% of these women, they're abused by men. And the old idea, again, is to find that essence. Find the essence I'm trying to find with the method of Silva, find the essence with the drawing. And this essence is about, in the end of the film, you don't know what the character Zoe will do. I will send you a movie to you tonight, and because I really want you to see. And the idea is, she will go out and conquer the world, or she will maybe jump in the river and die. And that's the question I'm very interested about. It's not to give you the answer; it's to just give you some tools, like you give it to me with the platform, to really capable to understand and have this type of conversation. What the freedom is.
What did you personally learn about freedom?
Okay, freedom, I really believe, is when somebody see you. When somebody, first you need to see yourself. But the moment you see yourself and you have just a number of people, can they see you? Can they really, you build in a community where you belong, you can really transcend that. We showed this film to an interesting woman. She was she came out to speak about this. She was in parole for over, she was incarcerated for over 20 year, and what she say fascinating is, of course, American prison, there's such a different way to Italian prison. And what was fascinating was these women, they told me inside the prison, a woman was opening the door for her. Outside, we don't have time, we always rush, and nobody opened the door for her. She's not counting. For me, from an artist perspective, what is very important is to communicate that essence, that spirit I'm trying to find in the healing drawing, or to write in a film, or direct in a film. That's what I'm very interested in, is about that essence, to take away the essence of the body, because I really believe, and if you think about scientific way, the atom is making form for the majority of the more important four elements are oxygen, nitrogen, carbon, hydrogen. If you think about the universe, it's the same for the same things. It means we are a creator. We walk in the universe, but the universe walking inside us. When there is this part where, with the idea to invisible change, we always have it. The idea and the power the method of Silva does, or anything else, is about to find that essence. And the moment everything going, the dots that are in the same place, you find that essence, you really can transcend it. And that's the part I'm really interested in. Transcendence means you can visualize, manifest, healing, helping other people, but you are the best version of yourself. And that's, for me, is the more important phase. That's what I'm searching. That's what I'm obsessively...
Becoming the best version of yourself. I love that.
That's the obsessive things I'm doing art for, and nothing creates everything. That's how the universe created, and I think that's how we need to looking into.
You mentioned something earlier that I want to go back to. You said, I asked you, do you meditate? And you go, rather you visualize. Tell us about that, because you were telling me an interesting story about how you created this film, The Absence of Eve.
Yeah, it's true.
And of course, Zoe Saldana is starring in the film. Scorsese produced it. It was your first film.
Yes.
And everything came together. Tell me about your visualization.
Okay.
And how you pulled this off.
Wow. I was very lucky. I surround myself with people better than me. But outside that, I believe a lot in visualization, manifestation. I think it's about here where your path is. Like I told you before, I believe before, we have an energy inside us, and this energy is your truth. If you connect with this energy, everything can happen. I really believe in that. In that case, I really love film. I did a sculpture for the show in Los Angeles, and the sculpture was 714 children go to Syria, to Italy. They lost their life. I collected 714 pair of shoes and a full of concrete. After that, I start to sit down and say, wow, art is very interesting, but my God, cinema can touch so many people. Right. It can go to one lens at a time. You can really change culture, I grew up with film like Federico Fellini, La Strada, 8.5, La Notte di Cabiria, like film that really changed my life. Rocco e i suoi fratelli. And I say, wow, cinema. And I'm obsessively watching one film a day, Monday to Friday. That's what I do.
That sounds like a really, really fun way to spend time.
Yeah, I really do. When everybody's sleeping, I watch one movie Monday to Friday. My wife laughs about me, say, yeah, it's also Saturday and Sunday. I say, oh, no, just Monday. And when I'm watching that film, I start to go, before I go to Mindvalley, I was going to masterclass. I pay $50. I say, oh my God, there is a Scorsese class. I think it's lesson number 3 or lesson number 5. It's like, is about editing the movie. I say, oh, wow. Learning all these lessons. I remember Zoe was coming in the middle of the night. I say, what you do? I say, I'm in lesson number 3. And she say, Marco, please go back to sleep. And I say, no. Short story, 2 years after, when the film was, put together the money went away, they come back, we start to shooting the film is finished. I was very
capable. You learned this on masterclass.com.
I learned in Masterclass.
That's crazy.
I don't know if I learned it only to Masterclass. I learned it with my obsessed things, like you say before, about try to expand the thing. I'm very obsessed about that. And Masterclass of Scorsese really helped me. And in the end, I was capable. Somebody showed the film to Rick, showed the film to Mr. Scorsese, to Martin, and he decided to put his name on. And I remember exactly where I was. I was in New York, in the middle of the street. He called me, and I started to crying. And really, I called my wife after, because for me, remember, I'm Italian. This guy's like, there is God, and there is God, and there is all the another director.
Right.
And I believe that God, Martin is a very special guy, Mr. Scorsese. And again, it's thanks Rick, but this was something very special. Rick really, sometimes you need to have one person believe in you, And in the end, the film, I'm very proud of the film. It's a very difficult subject, but what I'm very proud is the Academy, Library, Museum acquired the screenplay for collection. What this means, all the students in the future, they can go to La Cienega, the Academy, Library, Museum, and my script will be there. And the film is produced by Martin, and that's for me will be always a privilege I have inside my, in my heart.
How did visualization help with that?
Joe always say this, and I believe in this. Visualization. Joe Dispenza. Yeah, right. I don't think a visualization is enough. I think you need to visualize, and see, but at the same time feeling it's already happening.
Yeah.
And if you feel it's already happening, he's already yours.
You were visualizing yourself as a filmmaker.
It was already happening. Yeah,
and you were feeling. What were you feeling?
Wow. I feel to be seen.
Seen.
I be very simple.
Which is your definition of freedom?
Yes, it's to be seen. What this means is, can your voice be seen, and it was, you can understand because all your body creating this incredible goosebump or incredible part. Your body is coming to move in a certain way. When you feel that, and you visualize things already yours. Yeah. And I believe so much in this, and I base all my life. I teach that to my children, to our children. They are creator. You can really create everything, and you are this incredible power being. Imagine if you done so many experiences in your life. Imagine if when you grow up, they tell you can do anything you want. Imagine they can tell you. I ask my question all the time. Imagine can they tell you can really, really do anything. You can expand and you can create anything you feeling is, and you don't have so many no.
Right.
Because the universe always say yes to you. When you always say that, and I agree. Say one day I will be. Yes, of course the universe say yes. One day I will be. But if you say now happening already, the universe already say yes.
Right.
The universe, the feeling is already about
right now.
Yes.
Right.
The universe already say yes, and I'm fascinated about that because I just at the beginning. I'm so fascinated because now I start. I'm one little next step I'm trying to learning. That's my next step.
And
I miss it.
This
is difficult. This is difficult. When I'm capable to healing through my dream now. It means when I have a very stressed moment, I can go in my dream and I can release in my dream. I can cry in my dream. I can scream in my dream.
Are you doing it as a lucid dream? Are you waking up in your dream?
No. I'm in the sleeping, and I know the inconscious does this for me.
I see.
Now the part I'm missing, I'm working on. He's too capable to construct in my dream when I'm sleeping and stay there. That's I don't have it yet 100%. I'm maybe at 2-3%.
Right.
And what I do now, I'm doing this. I love Mindvalley help, but I'm doing this repetition before I go to sleep to understand that when I go there, if I can drive in the dream in the way I want it. That's my next step of the video game.
Lucid dreaming, right? That's really.
I can do when I'm not dreaming.
Yeah.
If I close my eyes now and I go lucid dream, I can go in and moving everything around, capture what I needed, coming out. That's I can do.
Right.
But if I say, I have a beautiful night with my kids and my wife, and I want to go to sleep, I want to be sure that when I go in the sleep, I'm in my next level of the video game. That's what I'm really, my mind
Getting
is.
to the next level of video game. That's really interesting. Yeah, lucid dreaming is, I've not been able to do it reliably, but lucid dreaming, incredible thing. There's a program on it on Mindvalley by Charlie Morley. He's a former Buddhist monk teaching lucid dreaming, which in Buddhism is called dream yoga. He teaches it really well. I think Charlie's the best lucid dreaming teacher out there.
Okay, I'm going to. That's my next course, guys.
Try
I
that,
come
try
back.
that.
I come back for this.
Yeah, try that. And it's not easy. Like,
Okay,
but you did
explain-
Silva Ultramind. Silva Ultramind is pretty
Yeah,
tough.
that's I understand. But I have a question to you. Okay, just please hear me out. When you say lucid dreaming, you say if I'm meditate now and I visualize and I go in and I can stay for 1 hour and I can see all these things. For you, there's a lucid dream or not?
So in lucid dreaming, you actually wake up in your dream, and it is so. You've seen the movie Inception.
Yeah, very well.
Lucid
By the way,
dreaming is
is
like Inception. When you wake up, you are not sure if you're dreaming or if it's real life.
Oh, that's I have it. I have a lot of this.
Then
But the
you're
question, yes. But the question, can you are in control of that program?
Yes,
That's
you
the
can
part
learn that.
I'm-
You
I'm
can
asking.
learn that. You can learn that. And what Charlie Morley teaches is you can walk through your dream, and your dream is a landscape of your subconscious. And you might see maybe a scary-looking guy with a knife, right?
That's
coming
it.
at you. That's an inner demon that you can conquer. And Charlie teaches you to conquer that, not by running away from the guy, but by going, hey, what's
But
up,
can
buddy?
you go back
and
the
giving
day?
him a hug.
Yeah, I understand. But the day after, can you go back and re-meet the same beast?
You can.
Okay, that's what I'm missing. Because I'll make
can.
an example. I
Right.
tell you an experience. Just, I never
Yeah.
told you that before a lunch, but you will like this. I have a moment of crisis after the first film, like I told you when I start to meet Eamon and stuff like that. And I have this crazy dream, like a really, like you say, violent dream, and I don't understand. And I was curious enough, can I contact somebody in London can know how to read your dream by Carl Jung? And I reach out to this person. And for 2 years, I collecting every single dream I have, writing down. Now I know exactly what my dream is, what my fear is. Now my next step is to program and go back. Say for what I'm not capable to do is to go back for these 5 days in the role to the same place. I want to go up in like in Inception or Paprika was a famous Japanese, but like a manga base where Inception came from. And that was an idea I have, like go in for 5 days and stay in that place. That's where I want to go, the Avatar place.
Do you go to London ever?
Yes.
Okay, the next time you go to London, I'll introduce you to Charlie Morley. He will sit down with you, and he's a
No,
great
you
guy
don't
to
understand.
meet.
I'm taking a plane for this. This will be the
Yeah?
best gift.
Charlie Morley will make this happen.
Okay,
Yeah.
this is really where my next very interesting place I am, and because now I'm start to doing this project for art, where I'm wanna do movie where I can cut and edit in through the breath. And I want to make him film. Where think about this 1 second. This you will like it. But when you're old, your landscape of life is very small. You know that you stay in the sofa, you don't move. But when you're young, your landscape is very big.
Right.
Now I want to make him film where you can edit into your breath, and every time you're relaxing, and you're in the bigger landscape and flowing. When you're very anxious, your landscape is coming small. I'm already shooting some of them. And I'm
Wait. So the film. So as you're watching this movie, it's detecting your breath.
Yes.
And as you slow down your breath, which means you're getting more relaxed.
Yes, I'm working very close
landscape.
to. Yes, quindi I'm working very close. I'm very lucky, guys.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find the best, and I'm really like now I'm sitting down with you, and you help me to develop what I'm missing. In this case, I was very lucky. Zoe was a big font of inspiration in my life. She really is. She introduced me to this incredible guy called Rich in Panama. He's the one helping so much Jim Cameron with all the academy. He's one of the greatest person in visual effect, and he helped me to develop all these incredible art projects. They're not commercial, but they're fascinating to me. When I have needed something, him and Ivalo, they really help me to understand and to how we can push it on. That's what I'm.
Do you know there are huge healing implications there? Massive healing implications. So have you heard of 40 Years of Zen?
No.
Okay, so 40 Years of Zen is a biohacking facility in Seattle by Dave Asprey. And they train people to get the brainwave states of monks who have been meditating for 40 years.
Okay, the one in Texas, I think, no?
Seattle.
Okay,
Seattle.
So
you can measure it. So people who've been meditating for 40 years, Zen Roshi monks, they have high alpha amplitude. So you learn in the Silva method how to go to alpha. Their alpha amplitude, meaning the strength of the wave, is really high. And they have what is called left-right brain coherence, right? So they teach these guys, so you can go in. I went in there with a lot of interesting people. They hook you up. They measure your brain waves. And our brain is really interesting. Our brain, will take control of whatever it has access to. So if you connect your brain to an external device, the brain has an ability to control that device. So what they do is they show you a movie, and the movie is really tiny and it's gray, and your brain will desire to expand the movie. Will expand the movie and make it color.
I want to just make an example of this because we talk a lot. This is so interesting about this, okay? That's why I want to spend more time with somebody like you. I'll explain to you why. And my theory, a lot I think is right. I don't know almost 80% of the things you just talk about, okay? But for certain reason,
Right.
I'm intuitive enough to doing the art exactly like this.
Yes.
Quindi the art is very fascinating to me because it's an incredible tools that we can, using for healing. What is fascinating is the conversation we can create. Quindi in this case, you just talk about my next project, literally my next project, is about the breath.
Right.
And the breath is editing and take you to one place to another. Now I tell you something. When I showed you before, this painting I'm doing, they're making with mold, real mold. We are working with this biologist and with my collaborator Marco, and we try to build in the real mold and stop it, time. But when you're looking from a distance, they actually don't look like a mold, but they're looking like a brain nervous system. In a way, my art is really a mirror, in a way, of so many information that you and Mindvalley, or incredible people like you that are interested about healing. That's just the kind of like, when you put a stone in the lake and this is the start of the conversation, is the start of the point of the conversation. That's what I'm fascinated about.
So that's really cool. Now this thing I did, what happens is they program the computer. So if your brain takes on the qualities of a monk, the film becomes bigger and it becomes in color. Now, you don't even know what's going on, but your brain understands this, and your brain goes, oh, if I do this, I can see a bigger image. And so your brain starts going there. And without you having to do anything, you develop the brainwave qualities of a monk. And it's all automatic.
Okay, and for me, it was a little vice versa. Quindi the way the process was, think about healing and not healing, okay? If you think about 7 levels, quindi before to arrive to the joy, to the place of really transcendence, is imagine everybody wake up with this kind of like, how we call, okay, for a lot of people when you're in depression, they call the frog. For a lot of people, is a bull. There is a beast around us. And this beast, when we are very anxious, the beast's breath is very high. It's very high. But when you're very relaxed, it's there. Because you can never kill the beast, but what you can do, you can domesticate and know it's there, correct? But think about this. For me, the way I did it was, I'm going to make in this film, okay, control to the breath. Because more relaxed you're going, more the landscape go bigger.
Right.
When it's not to the brain where it's something completely inconvenient, but it's more from the breath where it's something in a way spiritual and mystic and a life. Before you're born, when you die, the breath is the more important things. And that aspect, I'm very interested to do this film where the landscape becoming very bigger or when you are very more. That's where I stop it, but just do you know what is cordula? I'm sure you like this.
Cordula?
La cordula in Italy. Okay, the cordula is the gut of a lamb. And in Italy, in certain region like Sardinia or some people where I'm from, like what they do in the old school time, they was, my grandfather was an hunter. And I'm almost don't eat anymore. And he was hunting hunting the animal. Your grandmother sit down with you and make the braid of the cordula. Your mother cooking and you eating. You are exactly the cycle of everything coming with you. The education, the environment, everything, correctly? Fear is exactly like that. Fear is just a choice. Fear is a choice that you decide to do. It's nothing exists. Fear is not exist. It's this continuum circle of all this environment, education you have, and this continuing My goal is to try to create in this film where I can freedom on myself about this place and this landscape larger.
I love this creativity that you
this is really, this is what, and it's a fascinating because what you guys doing in Mindvalley, in a way I'm doing but this is what my next book will be based on this. My next book by Skira is called Nothing Create Everything, is based in all this. When this is based on my work, literally
what just occurred to me, you're taking personal growth, right? And you're using it to create art, and you're not doing it for money. You're not doing it. For
the money actually.
You're doing it because you want to do it.
Yeah, for sure. I cannot do without. I cannot live without this aspect. And my wife and my kids, they know, and they're incredible supporting. And is part of me. I maybe don't express myself in a great way sometimes, but I can express that through the art.
You know, a lot of people ask me what's going to happen in the world when AI is doing so much of our jobs, right? I believe what's going to happen is people are going to have a lot more time to discover themselves, to go into personal growth, and people are going to have a lot more time to create things just for the sake of creating. I think creating is expressing who we are. God creates. We are expressing that inner God within us when we create something. Just for the sake
I
of
really
creating.
believe we're a creator. There is an energy, And again, is go back at the vocabulary. People call love, people call universe. That's a part of the alphabet we're using. Sometimes the alphabet creates so many fear around people because if you take away the structure of the alphabet, it's just an energy, and the energy is the form of the. Again, for me, was interesting. And you asked me the first question at the beginning, why you do art and stuff. You just say something, and if you think about this, just what we just say here, this path, you talk about God, I talk about the universe, love, God. Take away the alphabet. There is an essence. There is a primitive essence there. Of course, it's God, the universe. And that essence is what I'm searching for. Is the essence, is the raw part of the drawing, is the raw part of the film, is the raw part of the communication with the friend, is the whole part. That essence, there is this light, this purity, that energy can we go and giving to another people for ourselves. That's what I'm very curious.
I love that.
That's really is the alphabet. The alphabet can make you very. It can create so many problems to a human being. The alphabet, this is extremely heavy words that human created. But at the end of the day, there's an essence of humanity where connect to everybody else.
I love that. That's beautiful. Now, I want to talk about healing for a moment because we were having an interesting conversation over lunch, and you mentioned how you were suffering from hair loss, which seems so hard to recognize now with that beautiful hair that you have. How did you heal yourself from hair loss?
Yeah, I was 27. I was living in New York City. Life was very hard in the sense it was maybe, I don't know, maybe for me it was so much going on that I was not capable to handle emotional. And I started losing hair. And, and what happening, my curiosity again, I start to go back to Italy. Mm-hmm. I went to a normal doctor, and doctor was telling me to take care of that with cortisone.
Right.
And that stopped the hair falling. But when I went back to New York through great friends, I was introduced by this incredible doctor, Alejandro Junger. Alejandro was at that time beginning this book called Clean Program and Clean Gut. I went to his office. I never forgot that. I went, hey, Ale, we're still friends, very close. I spoke with him 3-4 days ago. Hey, Ale, I'm sorry, doctor. I don't know what's going on. I'm completely in crisis. I'm alone. Can I come to live with you? And the guy said, sorry? Say, please, can I come to live with you? I need help. This is a true story. He opened his door. I went to live with him. And we became extremely close. And what happened is 6 months after, I started to clean my gut completely through this clean program he created. And I started to meditation. I started to do TM and all these incredible things, and I was healing.
Stopped.
Yes, and after he sent me to Argentina to spend 3 months with a shaman, and I went to Argentina to live with the shaman, and I started TM through a friend. And short story, this is the visualization. I think it was 5-6 years after when I came to live in Los Angeles first time, I find myself in the house of David Lynch. You understand? That's and I say, wow, visualization. And I think there is an energy not ready your path. I think what we need to do is to be aware to listen that.
Right. I mean, you cleaned your gut and you took up a meditation practice.
Yes.
TM. And I believe you can do any meditation practice.
Yeah, no, it was the example. The one helped me was through a mantra they give you. You do course, and that's what I did. But any meditation.
Anyway, I think that's a beautiful lesson for anyone watching who is suffering from hair loss. Now let's go on to your family because you've got such an incredible family. You showed me pictures of your kids. How did you and Zoe meet?
I meet her. Oh wow, that's a very. I meet her at the. I meet her at the. Sorry, now can you talk about Zoe? I meet her at the airport.
What?
Yes.
Okay, explain that story. And how long ago was this?
I met her from 11 years. I'm not speaking so much about public things, but I'm going to just share this very quickly. I met my wife at the airport around 6 o'clock in the morning. We both arrived to do the check-in at the same time. But I met her 5 years ago in another place. We was invited at the same place 5 years ago, but we just exchange hi. That's it. And after that, for 5 years, when she was gone inside the place, I was go out to a place. One time was out in Malibu, one time was in Milan, one time was another place. And one morning we was going both in New York, and we both arrive at the check-in at the airport, and we meet each other.
And did you know who she? I mean,
No, I met her before. Quindi I knew, and I find extremely beautiful, and I went there to try to. She have this incredible joke where she say, "Oh, if you cannot make love with her, I can sell a painting." No, it was not like this. But I went there and say, "Hey, my name is Marco. We met a long time ago, and we exchanged email. And after 1 month and a half, 2 months, she texts me and say, I'm downtown. I'm at your studio. Can I come to see your studio?" And I say, "Of course." And from that month, 6 months after, we married, and after 6 months, our kids born like a year and something after.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Met at an airport, got married in 6 months.
Yeah.
And then had
When you know,
beautiful-
you know. No, I'm very
Yeah.
grateful. Listen, I never speak about public things about my wife. I really try to keep it extremely private. I'm just very grateful. She's a very, very font of inspiration in so many ways, and because she have this essence, these raw things. That's the part I'm fascinated by human being. I say, oh, why she can transcend it so much? What make, and I understand it's about that raw, that emotional aspect of the exactly who you are. Think about in cinema business. Now think about great film like 8.5 of Federico Fellini. That movie, I guess, was one of my preferred films. But outside that is exactly who Federico Fellini was. You understand? And I think when you are exactly who you're supposed to be in that essence, in that purity, I think you can transcend us. And through the tools that you created through Mindvalley, or try the tools, I think they're just tools that they help you to understand that and finding that essence.
Right. And you guys have 3 amazing kids.
Yeah, boys.
And of everything you've learned, of everything Zoe has learned, what are some of the lessons that you want to give to your children that you think are so important for your children to grow up with?
That's a very important question. I'm just taking one. Okay, one thing, when they born, the first thing was about, there was incredible mirror. I'm sure you have that because you're parents. With me, mirror is when they ask you what you're going to do in your life, Yeah. And I think the honest about that was such a very important thing to answer. First things I will try to be completely honest with myself to be sure that if one day they ask me that question, I know exactly can represent what I say. Number one, what I will leave to them for sure is about they're creator and they can do anything they want and they can they're capable to, what is important is that they never lose the essence who they really are.
Right.
That's the biggest important for me because they know we love them no matter what, but what is important is they know that they're capable to do anything. And I think that aspect is something I'm very curious about life because I'm asking myself for so many people, if you go back and say, hey, imagine you are born to be a Ferrari and all your life they tell you you're a panda, it's a car don't moving, but the truth is, imagine this is funny. This is something, and after I finish, but it's something that somebody told me, and it stayed with me a long time. Imagine each one of us is a music instrument.
Right.
And imagine all your life you are a guitar, but all your life they tell you you're a piano. Quindi until you are 14-year-old, they tell you you're a piano, but inside you're a guitar. Quindi what happens when you're 14, 15-year-old, you go in a big crisis, the first one, because now you discover that's not the music instrument you're supposed to be. And it takes you another 10 years to learning what kind of music instrument you're going to be. Now you finally are guitar, you're 30, and now you don't know how to using this instrument. And every time, remember, there is adjustment you do through meditation or visualization, how the instrument works. And why I say that is I wish to tell to my son he's already that instrument. And when he knows exactly what kind of instrument will be, he can expand in the way you want.
Right.
That's the part sometimes culture, sometimes fear, sometimes, the fear of your parents that things, they give you so much heaviness. And I think that part and aspect, I hope my kids to be lighting, to be capable to do anything they want.
Beautiful. I like that. Knowing that you're the piano or the guitar.
Yeah, but don't fake the instrument. Because if you play a music, you're not exactly you are.
Don't fake the instrument. I want to ask you something, and this may touch on a little bit political, but that movie that you got Scorsese to produce, It's called Absence of Eden, right? And it's about an ICE officer, ICE, who gets tangled with a child. And so obviously there's something about what's going on with illegal immigration and the way we're dealing with it that probably resonated with you and Zoe. And Zoe plays the ICE officer in the movie. Would you talk about
She played
that?
the illegal immigrant.
Oh, she played the illegal immigrant. Okay. Would you
Gary
talk...
Adland played the ICE agent,
see.
and Adria Arroyo played another illegal immigrant.
Because this is such a big issue right now. Yesterday, Trump won the election, and we all wish him well. We hope the country is in a great trajectory. But one of the things he is speaking about, and voters agree with him, is that there are lots of illegal immigrants here, and they need to be deported, right? And of course, deported or part to citizenship. I'm curious to know your views on what's going on and how you feel.
Look, I'm an immigrant. My wife is first-time generation Latina, a woman of color. I have 3 boys. They look 2 like her and 1 look like me. I'm exactly diversity at the aspect. Of course, this is a big, important topic. For me, what is very important is to be capable to talk about humanity. What this means is I don't want to talk about politics. Each one of us have a different idea and I really respect that idea and the choice the country makes. What for me is very important is to bring up a question about humanity. Mm-hmm. In this case of the film, the humanity aspect is coming from both sides of the border. It's coming from the ICE agent and it's coming from the illegal part of the immigration. And for me, it was important to raise this question about humanity. What it means to be really, really understand humanity and understand what is the next person, because life is not really black and white. There is all the time this gray, and we forgot very, very quickly about this middle point about humanity. And I think there is an aspect of humanity is going more important than religion, more important than politics, more important than everything else. For me, humanity is the more important essence, where I think is make us reflect. If you know what's going to happen, is going to happen a violent cycle of a rage cycle, and this cycle keep coming back until humanity start to grow and understand. I really believe.
So when you say what's important is humanity, define that. What is humanity to you?
I make an example, in a small thing. It's about in Dovecot, it was about to be seen, correctly, to see another, to create this community where you belong. I think humanity is about to understand and not just to look in your own point of view, but to really understand and try to sit down close. Before any choice, any aspect you can talk about is very important to hear and try to understand what is the other side or another person. Right. Why think in this way? Why does this act? Why arrive in this place?
Right.
Why push in this way? I make an example.
All of that distance, risk their life to be here.
Jump in the unknown, no? Correct. Right. It's called jump in the unknown. They come in a place to wait in something is bigger than them. Or think about these women in the incarcerated. When I speak with these women every night before go to sleep, this woman was giving the letter to me and Zoe to read them. Yeah. And what we understood, 90% of these women, they was abused by men. Again, what I'm trying to say is sometimes we push in an individual so much before explode. I'm just asking why we don't step back and just really understand what humanity is and what is the other aspect of the other person. I think that's for me, I can speak for me, is the more important. It's not about politics. I'm not the guy who will speak about politics. What's important is about that aspect of fragility and vulnerability. And I think when people are vulnerable and fragile, that's not the place to take an advantage, but to really understand why they come from that place. And I think vulnerability is a very incredible power. That's what I actually teach to my son. If you ask me before, is the vulnerability. I think when you are vulnerable, you can be a superpower.
Yeah, I mean, we don't want to be a country that separates children from their parents.
That's what I'm saying. Right. I just say we need to have a larger conversation. Yeah. Is not my place. You know?
What? No, but I think it is your place. I think it's everyone's place to open up, because I really believe in the goodness of the American people. There was a study I read about that showed that even Republican voters who agreed that you should kick out illegal immigrants, when they were really presented the idea, should these people be sent back across the border or given a path to citizenship, 70% said, let's give them a pathway to citizenship. And that's such a beautiful thing to know.
I agree. It's about, again, that's the example of humanity is more important. What is mean about that is about, it's really about to understand why? It's not all the time. There's never an answer. I think when you have an answer for everything, is really there's no growing. I think the growing is when you're curious to understand why we arrived this, what's happening if we can go in this way, what is the cycle we're going to create. And I think that's what for me is very important, is this very honest conversation where we can really 1 second understand what is also the other side, and also like what is the type of conversation we need.
Amazing. Marco, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
We came to the end of the interview. I know you have to go. Anything you want to tell the audience about where they can find your work or learn more about you?
No, they will find it. I'm very grateful, and thank you for having me today.